have been more or less negative and have been sort of impacting us in a very negative manner on how to go about most of them. A lot of entrepreneurs that actually I have known since my early career have been also thinking about shutting down their shops. So what would be those specific points that you would sort of recommend, like as guideposts that we could discuss in detail, which would sort of motivate us to sort of just disregard these predictions, which are absolutely negative?
That's a very important point, because everywhere there is a lot of glum and a lot of grim sort of situations, and one tends to get sort of drowned in all this. And so absolutely right, Shruti, that's the right, valid question. So you know what, I've sort of two things, and all of you should read this book by Carol Dweck, which is a growth mindset, very important book. It basically talks about how the mind is trained in terms of thinking of always growth. And in fact, the empirical research suggests that the companies who in downturn or when they're in distress, if they focus on even a 1 to 2% growth in that downturn, rather than being defensive and trying to sort of look at how is it that I can get more funds flowed in because and my funds are dried, they tend to improve their survival chances by 40 to 50%. So 2% growth results in 40% improvement chances in survival. And it's an empirical evidence. It's not about Wadhwani Foundation. It's basically done over the last 70 years by the different institutes, and that's what it proves. So that growth mindset is very important. I'll encourage you to read that book. And some of these guideposts that Shruti asked me in terms of what are the different things that one could do. So these are the different guideposts of action. There are these different 18 points. In the interest of time, again, we will not be able to go into detail all these areas. But just look at some of them. They touch upon the different elements. They touch upon the strategy, the operations, the talent, the technology, lots of other areas, for example. So there are, earlier I referred to look at your fixed expenses, variable expenses. So that's one of the points out here. It talks about really use data and not intuition. Often in downtimes, what happens is that you are led by the conversations. Conversations really matter because you are trying to find out whether the problem that you are encountering is faced by everybody else as well. Firstly, you're trying for some empathy, you're trying for some sympathy, and you're trying for some sort of friendship. But it's also dangerous because the experience of that person need not be your experience. And then what happens is that then you have a sort of snowballing effect, which need not be true. So look at data very closely. The data should give you evidence of whether your feeling is right or wrong. And I think you must look at that, especially in downturns and these times like this. The other is basically adopt a portfolio approach, which is where I was talking about, looking at the whole choices that one must make in terms of products, in terms of customers, in terms of the value chain roles that you're going to play. The other thing is very clearly, it is writing on the wall, just go digital. If you haven't taken the first step today, go digital right from tomorrow, because I can tell you that from our experience, that in last 1.5 years, there is an uptake of about 3x to 5x in terms of the way SMEs interact with the customers and the way SMEs interact with their employees and the way SMEs interact with their partners and vendors. And those who have embraced technology in digital, etc., have actually improved their top lines and bottom lines even in this downturn like 1.5 years than those who haven't. So there is technology is always it can be a great friend, but it could be overwhelming for those who don't understand it. So first of all, understand it. If you don't know, hire an expert to understand it. It doesn't mean paying big bucks. Basically, there are alternatives available. There are experts available who can give you that smart advice. Understand what does going digital mean. It brings about transparency. It brings about a different way of cost to serve. It means the different types of interactions and experiences that one has. So, but I think there is no doubt in the mind that one must go digital. So that's one of the things that you must look at it very actively. It's absolutely no regret move because the only thing that it will do is basically to clean up and then basically it will improve. So I think that's some of the things, and that's not costly, by the way. Going digital is not costly. It's a notion that technology comes with a lot of costs and investments, which is untrue. Technology can become a very smart choice if you are able to focus on what technologies that one must bring and what sort of experts you should hire, etc. And they don't come at a high cost. The other is outsource and use gig economy. There are lots of talent available here in India, and let's be smart and use gig economy for short-term purposes whenever your talent needs are very high. It's not necessary to hire everybody on the payroll, and we can talk about it later, but there are smart strategies around that as well. The other is, a lot of times in downturn, what happens is that there is a tendency to claw back and sort of not really be open in terms of transparent, and the organizational weaknesses either they come out on surface and then you are really worried whether others will see my weaknesses in the downturn, and you tend to hide because you want to make sure that others don't see you as a failure, and it's a human thing, right? But I would really caution you, don't do that. In fact, downturn is the time to be vulnerable. There is a big science around being vulnerable. Be vulnerable, be seen as vulnerable. But the simple reason is that once you are open and transparent to others, trust me, there is a collaboration effect that takes place, and then whatever is right for you will happen. So I think that's a very important thing. The other thing is, these are the best times to anticipate and plan for the upturn. This is the best time. Those who are luckier than some of those who are really starved of funds, think about anticipating and plan for the future. This is the best time to innovate. This is the best time to invest in new ventures, for the simple reason that the cost of the resources usually in these times are low. Everybody is in need of business. And this is one of the best times to think about what innovation you could do, because when the upturn happens, you should be at the forefront to capitalize on that trend. You should not be laggard there. So these are some of the things. Of course, there are lots of points out here, but we can discuss later and we can share with you later. But I think these are some of the guideposts and guidelines.